All right, now I wasn't going to talk about this because we really don't know too much about the game just yet, but there's been some talks about the DuskBloods. A Chinese journalist who famously leaked the legitimate info about Elden Ring before the game came out came back recently to give some information about the DuskBloods, the upcoming Switch 2 exclusive from Software. Now, if everything that he's saying is accurate, which so far it's sounding like people are feeling that it is, this is some really good information, and it's definitely got me a lot more excited for the title than previously. So he starts off by saying this game has been in development since 2019. Kind of makes a lot of sense. I think I remember hearing somewhere that this was originally supposed to be a Nintendo Switch 1 title, but eventually got moved over to the Switch 2 as that console got closer to releasing. The Switch 1 was very, very successful. Around 2019, it was pretty clear that the console was going to do fairly well by that point. So it wouldn't really surprise me too much if this development that he's referring to might have been for the original Switch 1 version that they started out with before moving it over to the Nintendo Switch 2, right? He goes on to say From Software has spent more time developing the gameplay for this game than any previous title, which is crazy to hear. I really just, that's a really good sign and probably very necessary if it's going to be a PvPvE type of game. I don't know if it's going to be like an extraction type of thing or if it's just fight to the death. I have no idea. But if you're going to have that many elements going off all at the same time, you're going to need a lot of time developing systems, testing things out to make sure everything flows well, is cohesive and enjoyable all at the same time. He says here that the DuskBloods was greenlit even earlier than the marketing period for Sekiro's release, which definitely falls in line with the development starting around 2019 as well. Sekiro came out March 2019, so it sounds like the development for the DuskBloods probably started around January or February of 2019, if not right in concepts being thrown around probably sometime in mid to late 2018. The game reportedly contains many innovative elements. The dev team is very proud of their work on the title, and the journalist speculates that the DuskBloods gameplay is so innovative that it might influence future developers. That's a huge claim. Now, again, this is not the developers themselves. This is just a Chinese journalist leaking some inside information. Who knows how accurate that might be, and who knows if this translation is even really on point. But either way, that's a very big and bold claim to make. But if the game's been in development since 2019, at the very least, I'll say it's possible. You know, FromSoft isn't very great with optimization and things like that. That's why it's taking them so long to get Elden Ring out for Switch 2 right now. But when it comes to combat, when it comes to gameplay, they definitely know what they're doing. I'm not too worried about it. I've been seeing some people kind of complaining about this game, you know, mad that it's not a single player only experience, upset that it's a Switch 2 exclusive. Oh, the DuskBloods has a $600 problem because are you really gonna buy a Switch 2 just for this game? Like, I don't know people that want a Switch 2 for only one game. You know what I mean? Like, even now, between all the exclusives that have dropped for the past 6 months, I don't know anyone that's picking up Switch 2 and they're like, yeah, there's only one game out of the plethora that are available that I want. And I think that the same thing would apply to people that are interested in this title. There's plenty of games worth buying on your Switch 2 outside of the DuskBloods, even if that is the main reason why you might go out and buy one. It's been in development for so long. They've been taking such great care of it. They've been pouring in amazing features and innovative mechanics to give us the best kind of experience that they possibly can. I have very little doubt that this is going to be a bad game. At best, it's going to be better than Elden Ring. At worst, it's going to be like a Night Rain type of experience, which people still love that to this day. I'm not the biggest fan of Night Rain, but this duo's PvP/PvE, whatever you want to call it, sounds a little bit more interesting. So I'm definitely going to be looking forward to that. I'm going to be keeping my eye on it, but man, some of y'all are definitely complaining for nothing. I'm seeing tweets, people calling this PvP slop, mad that it's a Nintendo exclusive and a Nintendo slop exclusive. Like, isn't this Miyazaki, bro? I just haven't seen people flip this hard on someone that has given y'all bangers after bangers so consistently. And then to have everyone start to complain just because the game is an exclusive to the Switch 2, which, mind you, Bloodborne is still not on anything else other than your PS4. I don't know. How do y'all feel about that? Is that okay? I guess so. Just because this is a Switch 2 exclusive, I'm seeing people mad and complaining about it. If you don't want to buy a Switch 2 for this game, don't do it. If you want to ignore every other title that's available on the system, first party and third party wise, and pretend like the DuskBloods is the only relevant game that's going to be on the console, meanwhile this game's not coming out till next year anyways, hey, that's on you, bro. You want to miss out on good games? That's no one's problem but your own at the end of the day. I'm not gonna hold you. The Switch 2's already very popular, sold over 10 million. By the time this game comes out, it'll probably be closer to 20-25 million units sold. And it looks like Nintendo's really going to be pushing this game out, especially once the Night Rain DLC finishes up. They said that they should be able to get more information about DuskBloods, maybe start seeing a bit more of a market marketing strategy laid out for this game by From Software, and you know Nintendo's going to be there to push this title because it's going to sell great. It's From Software, it's Miyazaki, they know what they're doing, it's going to play amazing. We just have to see if the core gameplay loop itself is satisfying enough as its own individual release. Whatever, I'm looking forward to this. Wasn't the hugest Elden Ring fan, but I definitely love Sekiro. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. I'm super excited, but let me know how you guys are feeling about this down below. Are you excited about this game? Do you think it's gonna be very good? Do you think it's worth buying a Switch 2 just for this game, or do you think that this is just another banger title on top of the huge pile of games that we've got to play right now? Let me know in the comments below. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.